Hello, it's Calvin Francis here with my good old friend, by the power of technology, Mr. Lee John. I can see you with your big poster behind your own head, which is really nice to see. But one thing I must say before we even get started, my friend, is your hat. I adore your Gunners hat. It,
That's it. That's it.
kicking off
That's it.
tonight.
That's it. That's it. Tonight. Yes,
Kicking
yes.
off tonight.
I was with them last week. It was really a great game last week.
Oh, fantastic,
Yeah,
wasn't
they've
it? I
been
mean,
playing
of
really
course,
well.
you and I go back so far, and that's a common bond with the Hybrid Grove thing,
Yeah,
with both you and I. So yeah, I wish them all the very best
yeah,
tonight. But it's great to
definitely,
talk to
definitely.
you, and we're going to talk about Lee moving drastically forward. We're going to talk about the one of the first legs of your tour. You always seem to be touring anyway, but your first in the UK, I should say.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so where in the world are you right now? Are you
I'm in.
you're at
I'm
home?
in Londinium right now.
Oh, right.
But
Well, I
I've
had
been.
to ask that.
Yes, yeah. I mean, over the last couple of months, I've been in France. I've been in Spain. I've been twice to Saint Lucia. And
Wow.
then I went back
Wow.
to France. I've been in the studio quite a bit. There's some
Hmm.
very heavy stuff coming up. There's a wicked track with exclusive with Byron Stingley and myself from 10
Oh,
City.
wow. Right.
So we're just
Okay.
looking to get the right mix for it because it's really
Sure.
powerful, called Proud and
Sure.
Bold. I've got a duet because I'm doing a jazz EP with a few different artists, but the legendary, and for those who do know jazz, Elaine Del Mar.
Hmm. So that's on
You know,
your jazz side, isn't it? That's on your
yeah,
jazz side. I know you
yeah.
do.
And she,
You love
yeah,
that, didn't you? Yeah.
she was the one that sang "Cup Hands Drinking Chocolate, Here Come Cadbury's Now."
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's the
Oh.
lady. Yeah,
I,
that
I
lady.
feel like
She,
we're familiar because I did the Bounty advert back in the day.
there,
Bounty,
it
the
was
taste
around the
of
same time.
paradise.
There you go. Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
fantastic. But you never seem to stop. You have the energy of a 12-year-old. You really do. And that's a no, it is. That's a beautiful thing because we're all in our latter part of the
Yes,
of
yes.
our age.
As I say, we're not seeing the twilight yet. We're on the third base.
Yeah, third base. That's the one.
We're on
Third
the
base.
third base. Yeah,
Brilliant. Well, I'm glad. I'm
amazing.
glad that you're still going, and of course you're going to be performing at the Exchange in Twickenham on Thursday, the 1st of May. Do you know, Lee? I'm just going to say this. Many people can't get me to pre-record my radio show because I do radio on a Thursday, 7 till 9 with my
Exactly.
son. Okay. Now you can get me to pre-record that show in order for me to be, of course, supporting you on Thursday, the 1st of May.
Exactly.
The Flashback Hits 40th anniversary UK tour, which is 40 years, really, Lee?
You wouldn't believe this. It is, I mean, I don't believe it. It's 40 plus, really. But the
Yeah.
time is just going so fast. We lost a couple of years because of COVID. So we're making it up right now. And I think
Mm,
right now it's about celebrating the music. I think this year in particular, everyone's going 80s. Everything is
yeah.
80s. Every country I'm going to, they're asking me to come on tour because they want to
Mm,
hear the music of imagination, music and light, just an illusion in the heat of the night, my favorite body talk,
mm,
and so on and so on. So it's a really, I think, a good period. We are there to uplift people and keep them positive, and that's what we're
sure.
going to do at the Twickenham Exchange on Thursday.
So do you find, really, everywhere I go, I DJ all over the world, and you know what? It always ends up, and I'm not just saying this because you're an iconic 80s artist or the music of that time, but people are constantly asking for 80s music. The other day I was doing a session playing some new stuff. I thought, well, let's get up to date, play some new stuff. This lady walked up to me and she couldn't have been about more than, I don't know, say between 30 and 40. And
Mm.
she says, I'm sorry, but could you change the music? And I said, what's the matter? She said, I just want to hear 80s. I said, but you're 12. You don't, you don't know anything about 80s. And she said, I know everything about 80s because my mother and father played that music all their life. So she grew up knowing it. Do you think that's what it is that's curbing a lot of the young people, especially to the 80s style of music?
I think basically there's melody that
Mm,
lives on. There are grooves that lives on. I mean, we are still dancing to Let's Groove Tonight, to the Brothers Johnson. These
mm,
records live on and on and on. Quincy Jones, stuff like that, Shaka,
sure.
the whole Kashif catalog
Mm.
production. We are
Oh,
still
oh,
grooving. We're still grooving to these
yeah.
music, and this has influenced a lot of the young people because once they've, to be honest with you, a lot of the some of them, not all, but some of the music today kind of leaves you. It's very lateral. It just goes like
Mm.
this, and it doesn't give you that feeling. Not saying all artists are like that. Only but some of it does that. And I think there's something with what we did was very analog and very
Mm.
organic,
Mm.
and even we were at the very beginnings of technology when we were in the studio.
Sure.
Everything we did was done on a natural level. We were not AI experiments or on that kind of platform at all.
You're not been cloned yet, then.
We've not been cloned yet. They're trying, but they can't.
So tell me, Lee, how did the actual 40th anniversary tour come about? Do you still enjoy the buzz and the excitement of performing live and seeing people when you're on stage, or is it just do you just go through the motions? I know, I think I already know the answer to this, but I've got to answer it anyway.
No, I love performing, and it for me
Yeah,
because I've been doing a lot of other creative work behind the scenes. So it's a real wonderful escape just to get out there, and I truly appreciate the fans coming to see the shows because, and they text me, they email me, they talk to me about the songs that they
yeah.
love back in the day, even new ones. You just talk about younger people. They're telling me, "Oh, are you going to do Burning Up? Are you going to do,
Mm.
all the different things like that?" And I think I've got a really strong responsibility at this point in time, as I said earlier, to
Mm.
keep people uplifting, and where we are the escapes that they come to, they come through us as vessels. You
Mhm.
yourself, the music that you put out there, what I'm doing, I think that's an important factor right now, specifically because of what's going on in the world.
Yeah,
So we are the
yeah,
beacons of light. We're the
yeah.
music beacons of light, as I should say. So I still enjoy it. It does
Beautiful.
take a lot out of me as
Mm.
I'm getting past 40 plus. Yeah, because,
So what motivates you as a recording artist, as a recording artist? Does it get tougher for you performing, continuously being creative and making music? How do you keep going? You've got your great hits, of course. That's one thing to
yeah,
decide. But
yeah.
at some stage, you're going to have to kind of say, "All right, that's my catalog," but march on from there. How do you kind of recreate yourself or
Well,
recreate the
well,
music?
I'm always evolving. I just recently
Mm.
had a successful album with Blue Sharp. We had the number one, Take Me Back.
Yeah.
I've had some stuff with the Gorillas. Which we went on a tour together, which was another outlet. I worked
Mm.
with Jorge Vacilo, a Brazilian artist. As I said, I've got this Brian Stingley track. I'm finding now I'm experimenting a lot more. I'm on the new Dennis Bavell album. He's done a dub album
Wow.
and he's done all this new catalog, and I've done the track for him. He's done a
Wow.
mix of Double Dilemma,
Yeah.
which was a track with Bill Sharp from Shack Attack. So I'm finding, evolving into all different genres of music and enjoying it, and
Mm.
without having to be dictated to by a record company or by,
Sure.
I'm enjoying the. I came into the industry organically.
Mm.
I started when I was very, very young. I know a lot about what happens in the business. So I now know I really just want to enjoy it, have a good time.
Yeah.
And I make my own choices. And I think that's the situation. I'm working in different territories. So I could be working in Italy, Spain.
Mm.
And what I'm trying to do is I'm working with artists in those territories as well. So
Yeah.
it keeps the education going, keeps the mind going.
Mm.
And for me, it's bringing something new back into the community. That's an
Mhm.
important factor as well.
Okay, so what exactly can the fans expect for the 40th anniversary UK tour? I mean, it's always different in the UK. I remember one of the last legs you and I did together at the Indigo O2 with Loose Ends,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal night. It really was.
Oh, you
I
were
think you
great.
thought,
You were really. I was
oh,
listening to you
thank
off
you.
stage. It was like, you really. I mean, you should have your own TV show for sure. They should have
I
you.
like to. I like to. I'm like you, Lee. I like to entertain. Because you're a DJ, and the preconception of DJs always just being tucked away. With the headphones behind
Yeah,
at some little corner. It needs to evolve. And through people like the Arts Council and people like these, I've been accredited with an artist status now as a DJ, which I'm very grateful for.
exactly.
And I think it's important that DJs do
Well,
push
yeah,
on.
exactly. I
You
mean, I
know.
spoke to people and said, "Oh, Calvin's going to be there," and they go, "Oh, great, fantastic." They know they're going to have a good time. And
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
whole situation. It's
absolutely.
about, for me, it doesn't matter the size of the audience as long as they're
Mm.
there and it could be a small arena, a small club, no matter where it is, as long as we are all enjoying ourselves. That's the main
Sure.
factor, you know?
Got to be part
Music
of
is
it.
the key.
Absolutely.
Music is, I think, the best sedative for us right now.
Mm. Congratulations are in order, I believe, because we touched on this just a little while ago about the album "Take Me Back," which was #1 in the UK soul charts. How was that? I mean, I met Bill Sharp a couple of times and stuff, but that's not something that would go straight in my mind to say Lee John Imagination collaborating with Shack Attack. How
Mm.
did that whole thing come
Well,
around?
in the early 80s, Shack Attack had the same management company and agent. We had the same agent in actual fact.
All right.
Our
Okay.
manager and their manager were in the same building. And then, funnily enough, one of the songs that we produced together was with
Mm.
Nigel White, who used to be in Shack Attack, was Thank You, My Love, Thank You, My Love. Thank You, My Love is produced
Wow.
by Nigel of Shack Attack together
Yeah.
with us, together, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
we go way, way, way back. And over the years, Bill and I said, look, we've got to do, you know, a smooth jazz album. And we wrote a couple songs in maybe 15 years ago together. And then as the lockdown came in, we said, you know what,
Mm.
let's complete this album. In actual fact, I know he's in Japan. And when we come back, he wants me to do some stuff for him again. Because
Right.
it's just down to when you get a good vibe with people and you get on, and you know the music always speaks first.
Oh. There's a rumor going around. I don't know if you know, but I know. There's a rumor going around that you had tea with the king and queen. Was it true? And was what an experience? What was that like?
Well, basically, my mother has received an MBE because she's been working in the community in Harringay for many, many 50, 60 years now. And basically, her portrait was painted. It was part of this Windrush celebration.
Right.
Certain people have historically done work in the UK, which my mother was one of them. Her portrait was in the
Wow.
National Gallery. It's now on tour all over the UK. And we first went to the palace and we met the king and the queen, along with the other. There was 10 people, 10 performers. My mom was one of them. And so they invited us after that to celebrate his birthday in, I think, last November. We went to Highgrove, and it was about 40 people. And
Mm.
it was pre-Christmas, but it looked really Christmassy. And of course, I had met Prince Charles years ago when we performed at the Albert Hall for his ex-wife. We did like a
Right.
fifth anniversary show, and for the Princess Trust, which I've still do some charity work for now and then. So he was asking me. He said, oh, what are you doing now?" He asked me what you're doing because he's not seen me in years. It was very funny. I said, "I'm
Yeah.
just having my mom. You know, she's the star here. You know."
Mm.
So it was
Mm.
wonderful, and I appreciate my mom's been. She was secretary of the St. Lucian Association from 1968 till 2020, I think, yeah.
Mm.
So now she just advises, and she's celebrating a very big birthday in July, which is going to
Yeah.
be 88. And she's still,
88.
yeah, and she's
I
still,
saw her I
yeah,
saw her at your show at the Indigo. I met
yeah.
your mum then, and she's very sprightly,
Oh,
very
yes. Oh,
light
yes.
on her feet, likes
She
to
can still
dance.
lash your hard with a hand, I'm telling you.
Oh,
I'm
they
telling
all
you.
can. My one
Yeah.
too as well. Oh,
Oh,
they
my
all can.
gosh. She lashes
My
all
mum's
my
actually
friends.
90 in October this year, so yeah.
90. Yeah.
But she'd get off the bed and just give you a good old slap. You know what
Oh,
these things,
yes. Yes.
making of stern stuff.
I mean, I've
Uh,
been very lucky because they've all kept me very grounded. All my friends have kept me very on a level. You know, what I do is a job, but when it comes
mm,
down to my relationships with them, we keep it very real.
Brilliant. Any exciting creative multimedia projects that you're currently working on, or you want to share with us?
Well, I'm still working on my film project, and basically I'd stopped for a while because I worked on some other projects.
Stop.
But
Hold on a minute. What did you film project? You said.
yeah, I've done about 8 documentaries. I've done three, one in Zambia, one in
Wow.
Tunisia, one in South Africa for SOS Children, which I'm a patron for. You can see them online. I've done one for the community, which when they had a lot of knife crime, called Police and Thieves, because I did a version of that with Dennis Bovell, and that's gone out to all the schools. And I've done one about St. Lucia. You can go on my website, leejohn.com. It's called I Love St. Lucia. and it tells you about the culture, the people. I went down and I interviewed loads of different people and also some of the younger artists as well. So it was quite an exclusive situation. That was done just a few years ago. It was part of the Windrush Film Festival last
Wow.
year. And for
Amazing.
the last decade, I've been working on Flashback, the history of UK British Black music. And it's taken me
Wow.
a lifetime to get that together. I've got over 100 interviews and a hell of a lot of content. And it's been stop, start, stop, start because it's just very mega. It's really mega. It's
Yeah,
8 hours, not 8 hours, 8 episodes, and probably about a 19-minute promotional film for festivals and stuff like that. But there's so
sure.
much, it's a lot to get across. And you've never seen anything like what I've got because unfortunately, some of the people I've interviewed are no longer with us.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
I've
of
got
course.
exclusive interviews from people
With
that
those
you
people.
know. For example, we talk about, say, the 70s period. George Power, Crackers,
Yeah.
I did an interview with him. You
Hmm.
know, Paul Anderson, I've got an interview with
Yeah, Paul
him.
Trouble Hanson.
Trouble
Yeah,
Anderson,
Paul.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And it goes
yeah.
on and on, it's like when I start thinking, what's his name? Maxi Jazz. It's Maxi Jazz, I think. He's one of
Mhm.
those. There's so many people that, I've got their life
Well, don't.
story.
Well, do me a favor. Don't wait for me to keel over before you ask me to join you, because I've got a lot to talk about. Right? I
I
don't want to
am
be doing
sure.
this when.
I am positively sure. Well, we've got more to film. In actual fact, we've got a backlog of things to film. So we'll
Sure.
definitely have a moment where we get your story.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. So you're someone that never stops. We talk all the time, and from all over the world. I'm normally in London. You're the one that's all over the world. How do you keep fit? What's your routine? Have you got like a ritual, some kind of a thing that you do to keep going?
Yeah, every morning I do qigong before I do anything
You do
else.
what?
Qigong. Qigong is a breathing exercise. I've been doing it for the last,
Mm.
say, 12 years now, where
Right.
basically, I stretch, I do all that, because I'm always active. So I have to stretch,
Sure.
I do all that and make sure all the limbs, which are important. And I think this
Yeah.
is an important factor. In actual fact, I'm doing a charity walk on May the 28th, I believe
Mm.
in Wilsden. We're walking from Wilsden to Wembley Park with about 50, 60 elders and seniors.
Mm.
So I'm involved in helping that charity to get people active in the community. So we're doing that. And then I go for a swim. I swim practically every day, which is very good because I use the weights because as you get older, it's all this that gets bigger and bigger.
Sure.
I like my food and I like my champagne and I like my red wine. So,
Oh,
I,
oh, I know. Oh,
I
I
like
know.
I like my chicken. So
You're good.
I
Good.
have to really maintain, especially when you're traveling as well. And one of the things now that I drink a lot is coconut water for the electrolytes. That's very, very good because you get temperature, you get this, the
Mm.
weather, and coconut water I find it's great for the throat and also traveling. And I say to all my friends, when you travel, when you land, especially when you're in
Mm.
India, one of the best things to take is coconut water. And if you're feeling
Wow.
like dehydrated or feeling like, you know what, coconut water.
I tried it. Honestly, my wife drinks it all the time. I've tried it. I
Good.
thought I can't drink this. I just had one of the. Oh, it's a bit
Well,
rough,
well,
but
mix it with something. Put something in, maybe
yeah.
add some honey or
Well,
something else
yeah.
that,
No, I'll have a
it,
go. I didn't realize. I never.
look, you
Honestly,
do.
my wife drinks it all the
You
time,
need
and
it.
now
You
now
definitely
you've endorsed it. So Lee
do.
John of
And moringa.
Imagination.
And the other thing, last
Yeah.
herbal thing,
Sorry,
even better, is moringa.
I've heard of that too.
Yeah,
Don't know
moringa.
what it is, but I have heard of it.
Yeah, look it up.
I will. I will. I don't honestly, I had to ask you that question because I've always said to you, I don't know how you keep going. I mean, I do my thing, but it's you and the traveling and because I know what it's like just to go up the M25 to some place in wherever, and then get back and that. But hats off to you, my friend.
Thank
Hats
you.
off to you
Thank
because
you.
you never stop and long may it continue for you.
Thank you very
I
much.
just want to reiterate that Lee John will be performing at the Exchange as part of the Flashback Greatest Hits UK Tour Thursday. That's this Thursday, 1st of May at the Isha Theatre. And then on Friday, the 2nd of May, with a limited number of VIP meet and greets at the Isha Theatre. That's on Friday. The 1st of May, it's at the Exchange in Twickenham.
Yeah. And
So,
don't forget, Friday the 13th, which is a lucky day of
Mm.
June, we'll be together again at the Jazz Cafe.
Of course, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't forget that was there Friday 13th of May, and there's an after party, isn't there?
That's right, June.
Uh,
June.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
You just, I can't keep up. I don't know how you do it. I try and keep up with you. I'll be there every time with you, supporting you as I've always
Thank
done. You
you.
know that we have our love for each other in the business and as friends. And I really, really do wish you every success. And I will see you, my friend, on Thursday. And come on, you Gunners, tonight. I'll call you later.
Peace, love, and light, and Gunners!
Forward! God bless, mate. Take care.
Take
See you
care.
later,
Bye-bye.
Lee.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.